Well, hello and welcome back to my play-by-email game of Strategic Command versus the Taxman. So, without further ado, let's see what happened during Taxman's turn. Okay, so he's definitely still doing some maneuvers in Egypt, and it looks like he may be bringing some units in via the Persian Gulf and the Red Sea there. So, well, a lot of events. So what I've done is I've actually had to record this section afterwards because this whole military summary vanished while I was halfway through it. So I'm going to go through it now. I've also explored the reasons for some of these coming up, so I'll talk through those as well as we go through it. So the first item there is the British decision to support de Gaulle boosts British morale in the UK. Vichy France distances itself from Britain's support for General de Gaulle. And the Triomphe is seized at Plymouth and given to the Free French Navy. So as you can see, he does have a Free French Navy, and I think part of that was around a decision he had, which was to either support the Free French or recognise Vichy France. Now, he obviously chose to support the Free French, and doing so, that meant that Vichy France, Syria and Tunisia swung 5% to the Axis. So we'll have a look at that in another episode, because obviously I'm recording this after I finish recording this episode. We'll have a look at the diplomacy screen because there were some significant changes to the positions of a number of countries as an outcome of my opponent's or Taxman's decisions here. As a consequence of his decision of supporting the Free French, he also manages to receive a light cruiser as an outcome of that. And in May 1943, he will receive another cruiser. So I've got to bear that in mind, that his navy is also strengthening up a little bit there. So just moving on to the next one, the US delivers aircraft to Liverpool. That's kind of disappointing, which means its air power in the UK is getting stronger. The US delivers aircraft to St. John's in Newfoundland. British morale is shaken by France's surrender. Germany celebrates the defeat of France, not surprising really. And Operation Catapult, the Royal Navy attacks the Vichy fleet at Mers el Kabir. Now, that is again from a decision he made, so he had an option whether to launch Operation Catapult or not, and he obviously did. And as a consequence of that, that meant that Vichy France and Vichy Algeria would have swung 35 to 50% towards the Axis. So that's a pretty huge swing. But as a consequence, French bombers in Algeria would have retaliated by bombing Gibraltar. So there may have been some damage to Gibraltar as an outcome of that. And if Vichy Algeria joins the Axis or is conquered by them, then Germany receives 2 battleships. So because he made that decision, it now opens up the door for me to gain 2 battleships if I manage to get Vichy Algeria to join the Axis. So that's somewhere I might put some diplomacy chits. Not this turn, because I didn't know about this, but in my next turn. Let's carry on with the list here. Admiral Darlan orders the partial mobilization of the Vichy French fleet. And French bombers attack Gibraltar in response to the attack on Mers el Kabir, which I mentioned a moment ago. Vichy Algeria protests against the attack on Dakar. Now, this attack on Dakar is as a consequence of another decision that Taxman made. He had an option whether to launch what was called Operation Menace, which was to attack Dakar. Now, the reason he might do that is because he would gain 200 MPP for doing so, and that was to kind of symbolize the capture of the gold reserves there. However, there was only a 20% chance of success. And as we'll see in a moment, as we just move through the last ones of these, he doesn't actually succeed. So let's just go through the last ones here. We did Vichy Algeria protest against the attack on Dakar. Then de Gaulle announces on the BBC, France has lost a battle, but France has not lost the war. And then representatives from Poland, France, Canada and UK vow to continue the fight. And finally, and this is the important one about Dakar, British and French units failed to capture Dakar. So he didn't succeed there. And because of his failure, as the Axis, there was a 20% chance that Vichy France, Algeria and Tunisia would have swung 5 to 8% towards the Axis. Now, we don't see any pop-ups saying that that did occur, so I suspect that small swing to the axis for those countries didn't occur. Anyway, that's it. Let's move on. Japanese forces attacked the French in Indochina, inflicting heavy casualties. Strategic advice. Okay, the Mediterranean. Admiral Raeder argues that with French defeated, we should aim to defeat the British through switching our main emphasis to the Mediterranean. By advancing into Egypt and seizing the Suez Canal, we will strike an effective and painful blow at the British, which could be followed up by a conquest of the whole Middle East. Success in Egypt would move Spain closer to joining the war, and if our victory in the region is coupled with a vigorous U-boat campaign against British shipping, then we could bring the UK to her knees and win the war. Recommendation: organise a large-scale U-boat offensive against the UK, as well as an advance into Egypt and beyond. Okay, sensible advice, I think. Now, unfortunately, Taxman certainly knows I will have received all of that advice, and he knows, therefore, what is likely coming. So that's a problem, because Taxman, I'm getting the impression, is putting a lot of thought into this game. Anyway, let's start off with the U-30 here in the Atlantic. We've now got access to the port of St. Nazaire. It's got it's a level 10, so I could bring my sub into that port and reinforce it, but I'm going to bring it along all the way along the coast here. I'm not going to venture out into the ocean at all. So let's put it into, I'm going to put it into hunt mode. In fact, can I cruise it? No, I can't cruise it because I'm out of supply. In fact, maybe I'm better off just keeping it in silent mode. Yeah, I still want to reduce the chance he'll find it, because if he does, it's a goner. So let's hug the coast here. I'm going to force it to stay as close to the coast as possible. And we'll just keep moving that. We'll keep moving that around each turn. Okay, time to have a look at the German Navy here. I don't think we've got any upgrades available for any of these. We are already at naval weaponry level 2, which is good. I would like my subs to have an advanced subs level of 1. In terms of research, advanced subs is at 99%. That is so frustrating. So it means I have a decision to make. Do I start venturing my subs out now to look for the Royal Navy while they are not at level 1, or wait until next turn? Well, if I wait till next turn, I will then have to upgrade them, spend a turn upgrading them, and then it won't be till the subsequent turn that I'll then be able to go out looking for his Royal Navy fleet. Now, so what does this do? So it says each new level advanced sub improves the naval attack and carrier attack values for subs. It also increases their chances of surviving attack, as subs has a 20% chance of successfully diving when being attacked. But with each new research level, this base percentage improves by 10%. So it's pretty good. My surface fleet is kind of ready to go out, but I'm very wary about taking my subs out in this condition, so I think I am going to wait another few turns. Maybe a bit frustrating to watch, and I hope this is the right decision. So I'm going to reinforce that sub. What I might do though is just put that sub into silent mode, and I might just come up here. Okay, so there's a sub up there. Well, we think there's a sub up there. Doesn't appear to be protected, but if I take a destroyer up there and attack, the destroyer will likely not be able to move very far afterwards, and then he might have his fleet hidden anywhere around here, and he could just swarm all over the destroyers and completely eliminate them. So I'm not going to do that. I'm still going to leave that sub alone, and I'm just going to bring another couple of subs back out into this position here, just again to provide a little bit of a screen. So I'm going to hold off. Yeah, I think the sensible thing is to hold off. Get my advanced subs and then venture out. So let's leave the Navy for now then, and let's have a look at the what was the Western Front. Now, you may have noticed in the past 2 turns he didn't. The weather was okay. It wasn't that his air fleet was grounded. He didn't use his air power. Now, I thought it might be because he was reinforcing it, but I'm now beginning to think he may have moved some of it down into Egypt, because he will know that this is the time for me to start pushing into Egypt. And if I do go there, and he has the Italians have very low quality airplanes at the moment. We haven't got advanced aircraft levels on those at all yet. And I suspect he has advanced aircraft level 2. And so I think his fighters will decimate the Italians if he has done that. So I would like to do some reconnaissance over here. Now, although I can fly, I can't get over there and do any reconnaissance because of the poor weather. So that's blown that idea out for this turn, because I really wanted to see what was going on over here and to see if I could see any of his air power. That is not going to happen this turn. And what I will do though is I'll get these fighters, etc., all a little bit closer to the coast, so they can certainly the fighters can do a little bit of reconnaissance further inland next turn, hopefully. But the weather's just going to get worse. I should say, because we are approaching winter. In any case, I might as well start moving my units up to the ports, because I will be looking to do an Operation Sea Lion. And so that's what I'm going to focus on, just getting my units kind of lined up along the coast here, and to get them fully reinforced and upgraded as much as they can be. So I'm going to do all the reinforcing and upgrading first, if they have availability for that, because we have an enormous number of MPPs. So nothing there. Let's just do all of this reinforcing and upgrading first of all. There. This one. So I'll do the reinforcing first and upgrading next turn. This is going to soak up a lot of MPPs. It's absolutely necessary to do. Oh, that's down to 3. That's going to take a lot. 117. Ouch. Oh, this HQ can be upgraded. I'm going to hold off on the mobility for now. It's very expensive, and I don't need it just yet. And I think that's probably the same there, isn't it? Yeah. I will, because I'll be moving this HQ. Matter of fact, this is my 7 rated HQ, and it's got 2 levels of experience. The 2 dots there show its experience level. This one is my worst HQ. I want to save my 2 best HQs for Operation Sea Lion. So this one I am going to upgrade mobility. No, I'm going to do it next turn, because I'm going to move this one. You can't force march HQs. I'm going to bring this HQ down for the invasion of Yugoslavia, and this one I'll be bringing back up the coast here very shortly for Operation Sea Lion. So let's continue on with reinforcing. 2 points there. 2 points there. And we'll just keep going. Nothing there, nothing there. Yep. I'm going to check each unit rigorously, because some of them may get elite reinforcements. Now these 2 bombers, I'm definitely going to bring them up to have naval weaponry level 2. It's very, very cheap. Oh, and this also needs ground attack weapons to be upgraded. Nothing there, nothing there. Nothing and nothing. Okay, so I will just start moving what I have left. So I'm going to bring, primarily I would like to bring some, primarily I want to bring corps over to the UK, but I'm going to take some armies as well. And definitely 2 armoured units. Now, I'm just going to just start moving over what I can. Now, with the parachute unit, I think, be able to power drop into the UK from the French coast. So this does not need to be near a port to be transported. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. I also want to try and avoid having too many units bang up against the coast in case he brings his navy over to try and attack me there. So this core, just bring up. Bring this core up, and I mean, I'm not going to use all of these in Operation Sea Lion. It's just too many units, but I'll kind of decide that afterwards. I've got time to move them over to Yugoslavia and the Eastern Front. Okay, let's keep on with the reinforcements. Okay, so why is that only getting up to 8? The supply is 5. Well, that will improve next turn. Now I've just taken France. The supply levels from each of the French resources will gradually increase, and they'll start to improve the supply levels for my troops. So I'm not worried about that. Don't need to do anything, I don't think. And yes, so this is the HQ I want to move up. So let's just bring it up to there for now. Now this army down here needs to be reinforced. Now these 3 armies, let's just get these 3 corps I should say, let's get the upgrades done. I think I can live without mobility. In fact, let's get them to the Yugoslavian border first of all. So again, I'm just going to force march them down just to get them there quickly. Next turn I'll work on upgrading those units and getting an HQ down there to support them. Now I would like an army down there with them, and I'll probably I might operate one of these. So I might just use the rail network and bring an army down there very quickly. Similarly, I'll probably operate an HQ down there. Now, as it's getting close towards the end of the year, I do need to get some more German units over to the Eastern Front. Because if I don't have 4 units within 10 hectares of Warsaw by the 1st of January, then the USSR will start swinging towards the Allies far more quickly than they would do otherwise. So I'm actually going to start just moving these 4 corps across. Okay, this Italian unit needs to be reinforced. And we'll start moving the Italians across for the attack on Yugoslavia. This one can be upgraded, so we'll do that first of all. Okay. As we move further down, this unit I moved into Tirana so that I could reinforce it to 8. And we'll shuffle them around and do the upgrades next turn. The next few turns, that is. Okay, so down here in North Africa. Okay, so these are all fully upgraded and reinforced apart from the bombers here. Definitely going to do the upgrades on this. And definitely need to just upgrade the air as much as possible. So again, I'm not going to do anything this turn. Next turn I'm going to do a reconnaissance flight with the fighter here and just see what we can see. Yeah. So at the beginning of next turn I will do a reconnaissance flight over and maybe start considering moving these units forward. I do want to try and wait as long as possible for the Africa Corps. but I think I may be pushed into the position where I need to at least start moving forward, but I need an idea of what I'm facing down here. If he has his level 2 fighters, and what are these? These are, at least they're level 1. They're not level 0, which I thought they might have been. So yeah, it might not be too bad, but I do, now I've upgraded these, I do need them active for the turn that I move these units forward. So that might be next turn. That might be next turn. So I think that's it for the Italians. What are we on research with the Italians? Yeah, we don't have really much going on at all. So if I'm going to do anything down here with my navy, I kind of just need to start thinking about doing that now. It's in very poor shape really, because there's no upgrades to it at all. I certainly don't have any points remaining to even think about starting some further research. So let's just start bringing these vessels down to lower ports. Well, I don't actually have any ports available, do I? Let's just do a little bit of exploration with my sub here. I'm going to leave it in hunt mode. In fact, I'm going to put it into silent mode, and I'm just going to kind of bring it down to over here. And we're going to start scouting around. I suspect his fleet could well be over here. It's where it is when the AI plays. Generally, it's in this vicinity. So we will do that. We've also got to be wary because from those events at the beginning, he does have a Free French Navy, which I'm very sad to hear about because it just means there's more for me to try and deal with. Okay, and also, so we've got a decent response. If the sub fires anything, I'm going to start bringing my navy down and accumulating it, or grouping it in this area, I should say. So that's what I'm going to do. Come on. Why is it frozen? Oh, that's still selected. Ah, don't want purchase. Go away. Close. Up and grab that again, and we'll. I'll put the destroyer to the front in case he's got a sub that's looking for my fleet. Bring this battleship over to here, and I'm going to put that battleship behind the screen there as well, and similarly with this battleship. Now I've got a light cruiser here. I think I'm just going to use cruise mode and bring it all the way through. I don't believe it's not around this vicinity, so I felt safe in doing that. So that is all of my fleet in a massive formation there. Okay, all right. So I think that's it with regards to movement this turn and reinforcements and upgrades. I have moved that, haven't I? Yes. Okay. Now let's just have a look over here. Let's start thinking about these units now. I don't need mobility on these units. Can I presume that's mobility as well? Yeah. Okay. So let's just bring this sub 4 to this port for advanced subs upgrade next turn. So it's a bit closer to where I want to be bringing it out into. Yeah, I think that's where we will leave them. In fact, I need to actually, I should have these subs all in port so they're ready to be upgraded next turn. Ah, okay, yeah, that's a good point. Good point. So can this sub get back here? No, it can't. It just can't get to that port. It's in silent mode, and it's because I already moved it. So I'm gonna have to move that. So that's port is at 8. Not sure what level I can do upgrades. I think 8. It should be a 9 next turn, I think. Let's just move it down into there. Hopefully I'll be able to do the upgrade on that next turn there. And let's move that back into there. Move that sub into there. That sub, it will have to wait for another turn. So that means next turn I will be able to do those advanced sub upgrades on all of my subs apart from that one up there. And hopefully that one there. Okay, let's just move my fighters into a better position for scouting over Britain. I don't want to put them up against the coast. But I'm going to put them in, yeah, I'm going to put them into towns on the coast because that should provide them with a little bit more defensive capability should he try and bombard me with anything. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my fighters in the ports. Ah, interesting. Spotted the sub out there already. Okay. I think that's about all I can do. Just move that one up for preparation. I'm going to leave him where he is. So I think that's all the movement, etc. Let's have a look at research. Now, I've got a lot of points for the Germans, so 1,021. Now, infantry weapons is going to be achieved this turn. I think it's about 2 to 7% per turn, so it might just go to 99, but in theory it should get to level 2. So I'll do those upgrades on the infantry units next turn. These two are still moving along. Now, I really think he has already got advanced aircraft level 2. And I've got to match that. Now, we're very early on in this, so what I'm going to do is... I wanted to put another chit in here. Sometimes you can put a second chit into a research item, and it will double the rate at which that research progresses. I can't do it on this one. Oh, no, I really wanted to boost that up as quickly as possible. Oh, well, I can't do that. Instead, I will get long-range aircraft. That's going to be very important when supporting an initial invasion here. Our advanced subs has not reached 100% yet, so I'm going to invest another chit in that next turn. Ground attack weapons is another one I want to invest another chit in. I really need to get my air power strength up. I want the air power to try and dominate. I need to dominate the skies because I think he's going to put up a very significant fight in that area. I want to do anti-aircraft defense. I want to put another one into here. But again, that's likely to come through this turn, so I wait until next turn to add that one in. Amphibious warfare. That's so far progressed. I need this really to be at level 2 before I do Operation Sea Lion. This is going to be an issue. So I might just spend another 125 to boost that one up, or I could just wait a number of turns. There is a chance that there could be a breakthrough. Once any of these have got past 45%, there is a chance that you'll get a breakthrough and it will just jump to 100%. Now that chance of that happening is increased by your level of spying and intelligence. Now this is going to come through soon, and therefore I will likely start getting more research breakthroughs occurring. So I think I might just leave amphibious warfare without investing a second chit in it. Hopefully I'll get a breakthrough on that and it will come through soon, and then I'm going to probably put 2 chits in to really move that one through as quickly as possible. Spying and intelligence is soon, which is good. I'm going to put another 200 into industrial tech because that boosts the number of MPPs I receive each turn and puts Germany on more of a war footing. And then this leaves logistics and production technology. Now logistics reduces operational movement and regular transport costs by 10%, and it also increases the build limit for HQs and all types of transports by 1 per level. Yeah, I think logistics is a good one. It's only a 100, so I'm going to put another 100 into that. And production tech, each new level of production tech research decreases unit cost by 5%. down to 371 MPP. I'm going to hold off on that, I think, for one turn. Yeah, I think so. Before I go to production, or purchases and production, let's have a quick look at the Italians. Yeah, I can't spend anything here. Nothing to look at here, folks. It's just the sorry state of affairs of the poor research level for the Italians. Let's have a look at purchasing units. Now I want to keep adding to my Panzer units. So let's see if I can get one of those fully upgraded. And that leaves me with 34 MPP. It really doesn't go very far, does it? No, it does not. So let's have a look at production. So it's mid-September 1940. We've got a sub, not a lot coming up. We've got a sub coming in December. And then in January, we get another sub. And those 2 armor units I recently purchased will come through. Yeah, and then in February, we've got a battleship coming. Goodness, it's not until June. So I really need to get these, get more units into the production queue. Okay, I think that is it, folks. I think that's about all I can do. Let's just zoom out. Have a quick check. So the only the only Royal Navy RN units that we know of is a sub down here and a possible sub up here. Now we do have Norway, and I would like to actually, this unit is very weak, so let's at least get some reinforcement onto that. I don't want to leave him that weak. I think that's it, folks. That's about all we can do this turn. Again, it's going to be a bit of a few turns of consolidation, reinforcement, upgrading, and I will start to venture out into the North Sea to try and track down the Royal Navy, and unfortunately the Free French Navy as well. So let's end the turn and see if any major events occur. Okay, more convoy disruptions. Great, we've got our level 2 infantry weapons. Advanced subs as expected, level 1 for Germany. And anti-aircraft as expected, level 1 for Germany. Great, we got level 2 command and control. Level 1 naval warfare, and 501 MPP and 106 for Italy. So that naval warfare will also be a boost because that's going to boost the morale of all of my naval units. Again, really need these in place before tackling the Royal Navy. Anyway, that's it, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope that you're enjoying this series. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below. I really would love to get some dialogue going with you. Anyway, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Check out my Patreon page. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.